What is up? We are back in black in the building. We have made it back one more day. Shout out to everybody out there at the Core Plantation. Shout out to everybody getting their rest on because of the weekend. David, Shawnee, Erica, Tasha, you already know what it is. James Youngblood. You already hit. Y'all know niggas don't hit y'all. Did Jesus come back? Oh, man. Well, we'll try for next Sunday. I'm pretty sure it's people at Sunday school right now and everything else. Man. I have a different type of topic today. We're going to get into it. I had a conversation with my sibling and my nephew last night. And I'm going to give you a little insert of what we was talking about. No, we ain't going to be messy. And we wasn't talking about people. We were just talking about the corporate plantation. And we were definitely talking about being imagery prone and just black imagery as it is. So we're going to get into it right now. Let's do it. All right, let me cut that down. Yeah, man. I was taking the CMOS over there to my sister's house. And me and my nephew, my nephew got this fresh-ass massage chair, man. That motherfucker that down there about to put me to sleep. But we was over there chopping it up with him, man, and we had a great conversation. We was talking, you know what? You learn a lot. You got to listen to people, and they have great insight on things, man. And we were just talking about just being imagery prone and just black imagery. You know what I mean? And I think when we think of black imagery, that's why y'all seen, that picture. It's got a Black Panther cast on there, whatever. But you notice they got Latino on there and a white person. That's black imagery, meaning that we can't. I take it as black imagery to me is this, and I kind of learned it a lot from talking to my sister and my nephew last night, and just talking to family members as it is. Even my little sister, she be saying it too. She said, there's like, black folk want the imagery of looking like they handling business, but deep down inside, we have a lot to learn and we have a lot of sacrifices we got to make, and sometimes we don't want to make those sacrifices. See, y'all thought I was going to say some messy shit. Yeah, well, my sister was saying this. Nah, nigga, we don't do that. We don't do that. So it was very, very interesting. I was listening to him and I was asking, I asked my nephew something. This shit had me rolling. I said, hey, how come you didn't take such and such? And he said, nah, man, I get what I could afford. And he's young. And I'm like, damn, he fucked me up. I said, but this situation is tight. Woo. And my nephew was like, nah, man, I need a warranty and I need to get what I could afford. I'm not out here trying to basically floss for the rest of these other motherfuckers. I just want to go to work, do my job, and go the fuck home. And I said, damn, I got a lot to learn. And he younger than me. And then I was talking to my sister. She was saying the same thing. She was like, sometimes I think we want to have this image that, we're doing better than the next person, but we may not be as disciplined as the next person, but we want to tell the next person what they need to be doing or what they shouldn't be doing. And we can only lead by example. So if we're not disciplined, then we can't be telling nobody else what the fuck they need to be doing. I had to shut up and just listen and like, damn, that's very, very poignant. And that's what I want to talk about today. And I'm going to give you my rendition on it. We have to stop worrying about our image towards each other. Because I think, this is just my partake. James Youngblood, Dave for No Compromise. Please go check out David's podcast. You know what I'm saying? But we want to get, I always got to get that brother props because we've had these conversations on Twitter Spaces. I know David probably going to be like, yep. And David, James Youngblood, Tasha, this is what I think. I think we be more worried about false advertisement of an image to people and not just worried about our intrinsic image and what we portray to other black folk or what we just portray, period. I think we be so worried about what other people are going to think or going to say. We will cater to what people place us in and not just be, you know, our authentic self. And not mean authentic self, I mean more of just like, you don't have to put out that type of energy that you have it together. None of us have it together, because if we did, we wouldn't be here. You know what I mean? So, but I think a lot of the times we want to lead, but we don't want to be disciplined in our leadership. You know the term attitude flex leadership. So, you know, when you want to like lead people, let's just say you got your children or whatever. If you handling business, you know, kids are not perfect, and they're gonna look and see what you do and what you say, and then they're gonna learn from that, and then they're gonna learn from other friends and other parents or whatever. But we have to stop being so imagery prone and more about working together. That's what I would say. And the reason why I would say that is because I think we lack, and I always say it every week, every podcast, I think we just lack the confidence in ourselves a lot of the times. We don't want to give each other compliments. And I think some black folk suffer from the white knight syndrome because they've been around the dominant society too long. And they've been at these corporate plantations too long. Now, just follow me. I know y'all like, I know James Youngblood, David, like, man, what the fuck is this nigga talking about? Listen, just hear me out. At the corporate plantation, the dominant society, they are more prone to catering to a black person that tells all their business and cries wolf. A lot of the times they'll collect money for you, they'll do whatever they go their way. But when you're a confident black brother and sister, there's a fear and a phobia that the dominant society will display. And I feel like black folk have been at these corporate plantations so long, we only want to deal with each other when we feel like we have the upper hand on the other black person. I like to call it the Dutch Schultz syndrome. And the Dutch Schultz syndrome is this. If you ever watched the movie Hoodlum, the Dutch syndrome, he was like, take these sandwiches. After he done picked all over it and dug in his nose and dug in his booty and everything, you know, oh yeah, go ahead, take the sandwiches, Bub. And Bub was like, nah, man, I don't want to take. He's like, take the fucking sandwiches. And then he kind of felt good about giving them the sandwiches. Whether that was a real scene in real life or not, a lot of us possess that. We don't want to stand to someone that's our equal. We want to stand to someone that it may look like they don't have more than us material-wise. But just because they don't have more than us material-wise, that don't mean that we have more than them mentally or intrinsic-wise. And I feel like we're so busy having this image towards each other and portraying this image like we got it together. Niggas don't want to humble themselves and view each other as allies, even in relationships and everything else. You know, look, I've been in those situations. I'm going to just tell my personal opinion. I've been in those situations where motherfuckers try to offer me jobs, and the jobs don't even pay more than where I'm working at. But the job that they work in, they making good money, but they want to offer me the bullshit job. You know what I mean? And black folk have that tendency to do that a lot. I'm not saying that white folks don't do it, because white folks are the king and queens of white knight syndrome. They're the king and queens of that shit, but I would definitely say we have taken on those characteristics and how we deal with each other. And the reason why, because I went through it. I remember I was working at a corporate plantation at the time. I was working at the corporate plantation a long time ago. And, you know, motherfucker I knew, like, man, I could get with a job and all this other stuff. And I was like, man, how much you pay? And I'm like, dude, I make more, like, way more than that. And then I started thinking, like, oh, you value me that way because I'm not coming to work in Jordans and I ain't got a haircut every week. And I don't have rims on my car. So you think that and we need to stop basing people off of the exterior. Look at the interior. And you can learn a lot about a person by what they spend their money on. So you can kind of get a grasp of who you're dealing with. And I think we only want to help other black folk when they're in a subservient position to us. So if you got the car and you got the money, you got everything, then you kind of want to help because you want to feel good about yourself. Well, that's white knight syndrome. And a lot of black folks suffer from that because they've been around the dominant society too long. You should be wanting to help people just because intrinsically that's what you're supposed to be doing. Not because it makes you feel better at night. That's crazy. Stop looking at each other as competition. That's why I always go out of my way to, say what's up to brothers or people that I see. Hey, man, what's going on? Hey, man, nice ride you got there. Oh, man, good looking out. You know what I'm saying? I just do it, man, because I'm trying to transfer that energy of, I'm proud of my brother and sister for having a fresh car. I've never been a hater. I've never done any of that. But we, as a people, we got to let go of that white knight syndrome. Learn how to share the stage with people that are equal with you. Learn how to stand next to a person that's equal with you. Stop always wanting to stand next to a motherfucker that ain't got shit going on because it makes you feel better about yourself. Well, Warren, that's why, Warren, I'm really by myself the majority of the time. I don't really hang out with people like that. You know what I mean? Because I'm trying to learn to magnetize people that are on the same level as me. And this is no diss to nobody. I'm talking about like friends and people that hang out. I want to magnetize people that's doing better than me so I can learn from them. So I can raise my vibration. And the people that I magnetize, I don't want them coming at me with some white knight syndrome. You know what I mean? We shouldn't do each other like that. I think that is another reason why we're not able to come together as a people, because we're more worried about our image than worried about the intrinsic image that we should be portraying to people, especially, people outside of foundational Black Americans. That's why when you look at Black Panther, again, just to touch on it, you notice this movie didn't do that well because they took the image of being proud, Black, ahead of everybody, and they made us subservient to another racial group. And it just didn't play out well with Black folk because Black folk know better than that. So since we know better than that, let's start treating each other better than that. You know what I mean? Let's hold ourselves accountable. Stop waiting for somebody to hold you accountable and just hold yourself accountable. Understand where you should be going and what you should be doing, and stop worrying about Black imagery as far as a falsehood or a false narrative, or you're portraying like you got it like that. We so busy wanting to floss on each other, we're not understanding, hey, you dumbasses, we on the same team. You know what I mean? We want to look, and that's the thing. When you on social media, you on Instagram and all that, remember, it's not real. It's an illusion. It's a digital residual image of yourself. It's like the Matrix. It's not real. It's whatever you want it to be. So we have to understand that. Stop being like these celebrities. Don't want to, motherfuckers can buy followers and buy influence. You're not them. The pressure, you got to remember, the pressure is on them to keep getting 10,000 likes and 50,000 likes and all this other stuff. The pressure ain't on you. They fall off, they fall hard. You fall off, nobody really knows about it except your inner circle. So you would have to worry about protecting the intrinsic value, you know what I'm saying, of who you are, instead of just worried about whatever imagery you're trying to portray. I used to be like that too, especially a lot of LA niggas. I'm from LA. We gotta get a fade haircut, put your Jordans on, a Nike sweatsuit, a velour sweatsuit, just to go to the store. You know what I mean? Just to go up the street to get gas. You want to look fresh because you don't ever know who's gonna be looking. You know what I mean? Sometimes we gotta step outside of that and just worry about the intrinsic value of who you are. That's why I don't be tripping off that. I've went places, people seen me. You know what I mean? And they be like, oh, what's up, man? Man, what's up? And they're like, oh, man, so what you been up to? Same, man, same old. I don't come at people with, oh, man, I'm doing this now and I'm doing that. I just, same old stuff. Because you could be up today and down tomorrow. So that's why it's so good to be intrinsically invested in who you are. You know what I mean? I'm serious. if you don't know who you are, you have to sit down and you might want to take stock and inventory of what you need to know about who you are and where you want to go in life. And I think that would be best for us, man, because we get real upset when our imagery is being taken out of context in media and news and all that. And we come together for that, but we don't come together just to support each other and handle disagreements outside of social media. You know what I mean? I just feel like we need more of having value in who ourselves and, that internal value of who you are and that internal image. That will portray the exterior image of who you are. And the reason why I'm saying this, I'm talking about this today, because that was what we was talking about yesterday. And I was like, man, I'm going to talk about that. Individually, you got to know who you are. And if you want to be a leader of your relationship, leader of your household and all that, you have to be responsible and you have to be disciplined and you have to know where you're going and you have to always have new ideas every day. And you have to learn how to execute. You got to get you a vision board. You got to stay true to it, whether people believe in it or not. You know what I mean? A lot of people ain't going to believe. Look, man, I've been doing this podcast since 2018. That time done flew fucking by. And you know what I love about it? You know what makes me feel good about doing this? I feel like I'm having a conversation with the people that I know. I ain't on here trying to chase likes and algorithms and all that. And I get it for people that need to do it. That's facts. But for me, I just didn't want to do it that way. Shout out to Nuke. Me and Nuke, we talked about that. We wasn't really trying to do that. We just wasn't really trying to do that. And Nuke is busy, man. People got shit to do and people are busy. Whenever I can get people and interview people, I can. But, man, people are busy. People got their own lanes and shit that they got to do. And I didn't, when I first started about this podcast, I was just like, I don't want to be cloud chasing. I'm not trying to get over. That's why y'all don't ever hear me even say at the end, hey man, thank you, hit the bell, subscribe. Like, I don't even really be doing that shit because I feel like my podcast is underground. You want to just hear some real quick shit for about 12, 15, 20 minutes? Fuck with me. And you're like, well, Warren, man, you could do this to get. I've had people be like, well, how many subscribers you got? And I'd be laughing. I'm like, nigga, I ain't on here to get no subscribers. And nigga, I got a job. But anyway, man, look, you already know what it is. You know what it ain't. Man, just think about what I said, man, because it's all around us. No, I didn't want to do no podcast on no deaths today. I didn't want to do no podcast on no shootings today. I didn't want to do no podcast on those celebrities like that today. I wanted to just strictly do a podcast on Black imagery and learning how to take the exterior imagery that you want to portray and download it into your hard drive so it can be internal. So you don't have to be going out of your way to be like, well, this is who I am. It's going to automatically show. And we all got things to learn and stuff like that. So we're all a work in progress. As I said before, God's not done with me yet. But you already know what it is, man. Y'all know what it ain't, man. Hey, leave your comments. Shout out to Erica. Shout out to everybody out there, man. Shawnee, you already know what it is. Look, man, these are great discussions. I feel like if we don't know who we are internally, how we gonna move together externally as a team? If I stand next to a nigga and he's popping, right? He got it together. I'm either gonna know my place or I'm gonna be internally envious, jealous, and insecure. So we have to work on that. All this dusty mentality, worried about the next nigga. Oh, he's got a Beamer, and I gotta get a Benz. And then, if they got Benzes and Beamers, then I gotta go get an Audi. Look, man, get it because you want it, not because you care about how people see you in it. And it's very hard to distinguish that because you don't know. But that's the way we need to look at things, man. That is my time. Hey, you already know what it is. You know what it ain't. I got nothing but love for y'all. This is just a topic I talked about it yesterday. Man, shout out to everybody out there, man. And hey, love, live life, and you already know what it is. Guilty, nigga. I'm out. Peace.